came across this video, okay, and I really, really want to know what y'all think. I'm gonna play it. I'll probably stop it at some points. Again, I'm not gonna be with y'all long. I'll make this a recording, and I'll put it on the pages as well. But let me know what y'all think. Here we go. Let's make sure I got some volume on this joint, because I had to turn the other one down. All right. Nick Fuentes. This is what he thinks about hanging around black folks, I guess.
It's a shame. I really do believe, look, I think black people are not irredeemable, but there just needs to be brutal honesty. It's like, look, these black people are really struggling and they're turning into these maniacs.
Well, okay. All right. These black people are really struggling and they're turning into these maniacs. Whew. What I would say to that, what black people are struggling? Like, what is he, like, what specific black people are you talking about? Because there's plenty of black folks that aren't struggling, that are doing just fine. And to me, that's the message I try to stay away from when I'm talking to the black community. Like this whole we're struggling. Like there's people all around the world that's struggling. That's not just black folks. People are struggling in general. You know what I mean? So when you say these black people are struggling, like who are you talking about specifically? Because everybody has their own specific struggles. And they're turned into maniacs. Like I said, this is a little extreme. It's a little extreme. Who's turned into maniacs? If you're talking about liberal woke black folks, they are turned into maniacs. Yes. But there is a bunch of black people out here that are just common sense black folks. Like we don't do all that wokeness. We're not claiming victim mentality. We're not doing none of that. We just out here living our day, going to work, doing what we got to do.
It seems like they don't do anything right. They're obnoxious, they're rude, they're inconsiderate, aggressive, cruel. And, you know, look, nobody hates black people for being.
I got to go through that again. I got to listen to that part again. Look at all the stuff that he's saying. I need to know specifically what black folks he's talking about, because this is kind of wild.
Into these maniacs. It seems like they don't do anything right. They're obnoxious, they're rude, they're inconsiderate, aggressive, cruel. And, you know, look, nobody hates black people.
Obnoxious, rude, inconsiderate. Again, he has to really break down who he's talking about here, because you can't, and nobody likes this. Nobody likes when you put the mass, when you insult or are talking about a whole group of people because one group of people act a certain way. Okay. Now, Fuentes, to the untrained mind, any woke liberal black person will take this as a racist rant. That's what they would take this as. I'm not really getting a racist rant out of here. That's not kind of what I'm getting. Maybe it's underlying, and I don't do the whole racism now. I don't get bent out of shape because of racism. If someone's racist, I mean, hey, they can say whatever they want. As long as they don't touch me and my family, I'm good. That's all I care about. You can be racist. If you want to be racist, go be racist over there and ruin your day, because it's not going to ruin my day. I don't get caught up into that. But he's just targeting the whole black community, which I don't know if he's actually trying to do that. But he has to be specific. And I wonder, do people really think like this about black folks? Because I know plenty of black people, and even if they are on the liberal side, even if they're on the woke side, they're still not annoying, inconsiderate, or anything like that. So I'm wondering, like, what experience has he had with black folks Like he has to break this way, way down. Maybe I should watch the whole thing. If there's a whole clip of this, maybe I should find it. But what I see right here, it's a little weird. But I don't know. Let's keep going.
For being black. If there are people like that, I think that's exceedingly rare. And I don't consider myself one of them. The reason that people have negative attitudes about black people is because most people's interactions with black people are negative. Most people.
Okay, again, he's generalizing here. This is he just said he doesn't hate black people pretty much. He just said that. Right? He just said that. But he's generalizing. Like most people's interaction with black folks are negative. I'd like to say, unless there was a problem, I've really never had any negative encounters with anyone, unless there was a reason for me to be negative. That's only it. So to say that most people's, y'all let me know. Y'all have to let me know what y'all think of this, because this is kind of wild. Most people's interactions with black people are negative. I'm going to disagree with that. I'm going to disagree with that because I don't buy that at all. I just don't see where everybody's interaction with black folks is. And again, I know plenty of black people who just are just fine. They don't have any problems in society. They don't bother nobody. They go to work, they mind their business. You're talking about a specific group of people, and you have to be specific about that. RPG, Pundit, what's up, buddy? Listen, that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. He seems like a clever dude who likes to spin. Almost like an Amanda Seales type deal. Almost like like I did a video on the Amanda Seales debate with the conservatives. Go watch that. But it seems like that, using big words and formulating these sentences that sound smart, using SAT words to make this sound like they're talking about something when they're really not. In this case, I think he's hiding some underlying hate. It almost sounds like he's hiding some underlying, because I don't understand what he's talking about here.
People's interactions with black people is when you're stuck in traffic and you see a Nissan Altima speeding down the shoulder. And you say, what the fuck? You're not supposed to do that. If ever.
Now, okay. Growing up in the DC area, all right, I still live here. I still live down DC. There is a thing about Nissan Altimas. Okay. But I don't assume that it's always a black person driving. Okay. Driving down the side of the road. There is plenty of people, especially if you live in DC traffic, if you live around here in Northern Virginia, DC, Maryland, whatever, DMV, and you driving on 95 at any point in time, or 66 or 295, 395, whatever, there's multiple people who drive on the side of the road like that, not just black people. There's a lot of people that do it. So this guy is a bit extreme in the stuff that he's saying. Like, okay, yeah, you're not supposed to do it, but I don't think it's a black person.
Everybody did that, it would just be another lane. And, not everybody can do that. But it's like these people have no respect for decorum. They think the rules don't apply to them. They have no respect for society. Like that's their interaction is they are a waiter and they wait on a black table and the black people don't tip and they're fucking rude.
Again, generalizing here. You're talking about a whole another topic about tipping and being in a restaurant and what's right and what's not. That's a whole different topic. There's a lot of people that don't tip. There's a lot of people that tip well. Like I usually try to do the best I can when I tip, depending on how the service is. Now I will say, yeah, and let me say this now, but then I don't think it's generalized to one group of people. But I can only speak on black folk because I'm black. I can only speak on the black community. Black folks could be kind of wild and rude. Okay. And if something don't go right, they kind of exaggerate, or certain groups will exaggerate it more than it needs to be if it's not warranted. If it's warranted, it's warranted. But what it makes it seems like is people are nervous to serve black folks or interact with black people on a daily basis. It don't matter where they're from and what, how nice they are or what their background is that people are just nervous to be around black folks. In any capacity, whether it's in a store, whether it's driving on 95 or interstate, whether it's at a restaurant, that he's saying that people don't want to serve a table with all black people. And I sit here and wonder, do they think that about me? I'm nice as they come. I'll be respectful. I give respect. In turn, I expect respect. This is some wild accusations.
Like that's most people's interactions. It's stuff like that. They go to the DMV and they see a black person behind the counter and they say, "Oh, here we go," and the person's rude.
Who's experiencing this? That's what I want to know. Who's experiencing these encounters? Does he go? First of all, I ain't been to the DMV in a long time, but when I see a black person behind the counter, it doesn't bother me. Like, the only time I would have a problem is the person not doing what they're supposed to do. And I'm reaching out to y'all, really, I am, and I'm trying to understand. Do people really think like this when they're walking? Is this a real thing, or is he just over exaggerating the situation? Is what I'm trying to get at here. I'm leading towards the latter. How does he get up here? How does he get up here? And what platform? I don't know what platform he uses, I guess, or what following he has to get up here and say crazy things like this. Yes, he can come up here and refute everything that I have to say. He can pull up videos, blah blah blah. See, this was like black people, all the fights, all the carnival cruises, and all that other stuff that black folks are acting like a fool. Yes, he can do that. But that's not the entirety of the black community. What we're supposed to be getting away from is grouping everybody into one category and judging them all based off a few people, a few interactions. That's what we're supposed to be getting away from. Like it wouldn't be right for me to judge all Hispanic people or all white people or all people from Middle East or whatever. It wouldn't be right for me to do something like that. So I don't know why he's taking this approach. I would love to talk to him and be like, hey, so break down where you're getting this from. There's plenty of people in these places. There's plenty of folks around that don't have, in my opinion, negative encounters with black folks like this all the time, every day, to come over here and have a rant this much.
Now, it just goes to show people are not racist. It goes to show people don't like people that are rude. That people don't, it's unpleasant. People want to be treated with consideration and respect. And it is true that black people are, in this day and age, unfortunately, seem to have very low moral character. It's not even just the violence, although the violence is pretty striking.
Hold up. Let's go back here. Let's go back.
With consideration and respect. And it is true that black people are, in this day and age, unfortunately, seem to have very low moral character. It's not even...
Again, I don't know where he's stemming this from. This seems borderline personal. It seems very personal to me. Very
And
personal.
they say, oh, here we go. And the person's rude. Now, it just goes to show people are not racist. It goes to show people don't like people that are rude.
Obviously, we don't like people that are being rude. Correct.
That people don't, it's unpleasant. People want to be treated with consideration and respect.
I got no issue with this argument.
And it is true that black people are, in this day and age, unfortunately, seem to have very low moral character. It's not.
I don't agree with that. This is very, if he would have just said liberals, Democrats, I would agree with him more. To say that black people have low moral character, I don't know. Who is this guy? Because maybe I should, today I'll look more into it after this. But who is this guy? Really? He seems to have such a negative thought process about black folks that he's taking it to the extreme to come on here and say some crazy stuff like this. And it's almost like if there's a black person around, this dude short circuits and can't function at all. Low moral character. He has to be very specific. Again, I've been saying this the whole time. He needs to break down who he's actually talking about. To me, I don't think black people have a low moral character. I'm not saying that because I'm black. Ooh, no, I don't think anybody thinks that. Really, for the most part, maybe dudes like this, they may start talking crazy. This is crazy talk. As the video have went on, it's kind of gotten worse and worse. If I wonder if y'all agree with that. It's gotten worse and worse. To say that we have a low moral character is a strong statement. You haven't met every black person in the world, let alone the United States. So how can you just characterize all of us like this? Are there some clowns? Yes. Okay. But there's clowns everywhere, all the time. You got white people, black people, or people of color, like the left likes to say. They're all on TikTok talking about if you see a person wearing a red MAGA hat, just shoot them. From all different races and backgrounds, they're saying that. Not just black folks, it's a lot of people saying this mess because they're liberal loonies. Those are the people that lack moral character. You're liberal loonies, you're dumb Democrats. They lack moral character. Yes, I would agree with you on that. They say some wild and crazy stuff. They do some wild and crazy stuff. But to just have this target for black folks and say that most people don't like to be around black people is weird.
Not even just the violence, although the violence is pretty striking. If you live your life and you know that you're going to be mugged by black people, it kind of colors.
This is getting worse and worse progressively. If I don't live my life knowing that I'm going to get mugged by black people, does he not like black people? At the beginning, he was stressing that he does, that he does like black people, or that the population doesn't like black people. That's what he started off saying. But as he goes on this rant, it's more and more evident that he really doesn't like black people. I would like to know who is walking down the street thinking that they're going to get mugged by a specific black person. I really don't think people think like that. It just depends on what area you're at and what is the population there. If you go to a heavy crime-ridden population, but it has to be majority Hispanic, you would think maybe a Hispanic person would try to do something to me. He's not even talking about nobody else. He's just talking about black folks. I don't walk every day thinking I'm going to get mugged by a black person. I think people in general have the capability of being evil and doing harm to people. It doesn't matter what race you are, and you should always be aware of that. That way, you should carry tools to help you in those situations.
Your opinion or perception of black people, wouldn't you say? If 99% of the carjackings and stabbings and shootings that you see in Chicago are by black people, when you're walking down the street late at night, guess what you're looking for? Black people.
So you're going by statistics in the area. So downtown Chicago, a lot of crime. Yes, the population there is majority black folks. So if you're speaking about one specific area that has a lot of black folks there and a lot of crime, yes, statistically, that group of people is going to be the one that commits the crime. Yes, I get you. I get you there. But that's not like that all over the place. And chick, I'm going to read this out because people can't see it. Actually, I'll put it up here so people can see. I love this. I love this comment. I'm going to read it. I love it. He says, I disagree with him. I interact with black people all the time. As a Midwesterner in LA, it's natural for me to strike up a conversation with people. 99% of the time, moment I do, I get instant warmth and have a nice conversation. Maybe go, yeah, exactly. Like he's generalizing like a few knuckleheads to the whole population. Let me finish this and then I got to get out of here.
And you equate that with danger. And it doesn't take a lot of them to spoil the whole bunch like that. And
well, they shouldn't spoil the whole bunch. They should be addressed individually.
we just want black people to take accountability and say, look,
I do agree with that. Black folks do need to take accountability. But when I say that and stop blaming everybody else for the problems in the black community. That's why I say taking accountability. That's why black conservatives say that. So, yes, I do agree that black people need to take accountability for what's going on in the community, take responsibility for everything that's happening, and come together to make things better and moving forward for the next generations and generations to come. I agree with that. Yes. But see, he's trying to spin it as in all black people do these things and nobody takes accountability.
I'm not a bad person.
I'm not saying that, but your description and your thought processes about black people are too generalized, man. You're generalizing everybody.
I'm not a bad person. It just seems that every time I encounter you people, for the most part, it's
he's saying you this guy's kind of is off the chain.
Negative, and sometimes extremely negative, like I could get a gun in my face. You know, that's a problem. And people go, well, you are just loaded up with hatred and racism. It's like, I'm really not. I'm a really friendly person. I'm a really polite, friendly person. I give everybody a chance. But if I'm someplace and I see some black person walking in with their pants sagging and they can't articulate what their problem is or what they need, and they're rude and they're aggressive, and I'm in fear for my life, like, yeah, I have a problem with all of that.
Yes, a specific group of people. A specific type of person. That's what you're bothered by. And even then, and maybe it's just me, I don't know. If I see a person with saggy pants and being extra, coming to a place, and my spidey sense is up, maybe. But it's like that for a lot of people. If some other race came in and was being extra and loud, I still would have my spidey senses up, because you never know in this day and age what people are going to do. You really don't. You can't go nowhere. People want to do, they want to cause mass harm. These incidences are happening. You got to be on your P's and Q's, right? So it's not just that specific people, but I can get where he's trying to go with this. Kinda. Kinda. All right, let me finish this out.
And people go, and these black people go, well, you're racist, you're racist. It's like, no, I just hate inconsiderate behavior.
Yes, but we hate that from anybody. Why are you specifically targeting black folks? We hate inconsiderate behavior from everyone.
If black people were super well behaved, we would be racist in the other direction. We'd say, black people, oh, yes, dude, yes. My day is about to turn around for the better. What can I help you with, sir? Please come right on in. Man, what a relief to see you here. You're a sight for sore eyes. If black people were known for being the best, then we would be racist in the other direction. Oh, finally. So yeah, that really bothers me. It just bothers me in this damn ass city because that's all it is in Chicago is just these black people who can never take accountability. It's always somebody else's fault.
All right, I guess that's the end of that. So he's specifically talking about Chicago. All right. And again, I don't live in Chicago, but I do know that it's in the city. It could be there's some problems. There's stuff that needs to be addressed. I get that. Okay. Now, to sit here and say that he thinks about all black people in this way, just because of the encounters that he has in Chi-Town, I think that's actually pretty disgusting. Again, I don't know who Fuentes is. Don't really follow him. Don't really see much stuff from him. I just see this. And he has to stop categorizing everybody based off interactions that maybe he's had. I don't even know if he's even had these interactions. I'm not saying that he hasn't, but I don't even know if he's actually had these. I would love to sit down and talk to him. I really would. I really would. Because to generalize, he's saying black folks at the end, he's talking about being in Chicago, in the city. So he has to break that down, actually be specific, and learn to address specific people, not the whole group. I'm almost to 600 subs on the YouTube. You know how the algorithms are. They don't like content like this. But those that's been here, I love y'all. You know how we do. We've been doing this. Those that are new here, again, we cause chaos one truth at a time. I'm going to start doing more lives. Maybe I'll just do it every Friday or something. Y'all let me know in the comments, the chat. Y'all like the lives? Y'all like the videos? Whatever. Again, follow me on X, Mr. Willis23, Rumble, Mr. Willis23. The YouTube page is in the links. Y'all have a good Friday. Peace.